Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is John Dietz, speaker, trainer, coach with John Dietz Coaching and business builder with eXp Realty. So here's the question. Is revenue share a distraction from your real estate production? There's been a couple videos recently that have been put out by Mike Delpreet. By the way, Mike Delpreet, genius. If you're not following him, you should. His content is absolutely the best in the industry. So just recently, he's had an interview with a couple different real estate companies who have said they feel that revenue share is a distraction from production. So I totally get it. I really do. But I also think that there's a little bit of a misunderstanding here. So I want to look at what revenue share can do for you or what building a real estate business that you have ownership in that creates a pathway to potentially financial freedom could potentially look like for you. But first of all, if you look at the traditional real estate model, you've got the brokerage, you've got regional franchise owners, you have local franchise owners, and then we have you guys down here at the bottom. All right. This has pretty much been the model for the last 50 years. Totally get it, right? Now, what EXP did in 2009 is they came along and they said, I think if we get rid of this and this, we get rid of rent and staff and get rid of all of these expenses between the company and the agent, we could build a company where real estate agents have 50-50 ownership in the business. Now, the idea behind this is the model says that there's a $16,000 cap. That's money that would typically go to the brokerage. And in this model over here, 100% of that money stays with the brokerage. However, at eXp, the deal that Glenn Sanford made with all of his real estate agents was if you'll build your real estate business on our platform, we'll take 50% of the money that comes from that $16,000 cap and we'll pay it back to the company. That's how we pay our bills. What's left over is profit. We'll take the other 50% and we'll pay it to the real estate agents who build their business on our platform. Simple, right? Okay, now I want to look at two different real estate agents. The first agent we're going to look at is an agent with a traditional brokerage. And we're just going to say this agent is going to be in production for the next 20 years. They're selling real estate, they're closing deals, they're making money, life is good. And let's just say on average that they're closing, we'll make them a top producer and we'll say they're earning $200,000 a year, which is super good. By the way, that would put them in the top 1% of all real estate agents. The biggest challenge for this agent is they are renting space, trading time for money as a real estate technician. Now, they're successful. They own a practice. They don't own a business. A business means that you can walk away from it for a period of time. You can go on vacation, for example, for a month, and the money keeps coming in. Owning a business protects you from something happening if you were no longer able to work or you were laid up for a year and you couldn't work. As a technician, the money stops. If you own a business, it's going to continue to pay you money, even though you're not going on appointments, you're not taking listings, you're not showing homes, you're not writing contracts, you're still making money. But here's the biggest challenge with this. There's no exit plan. If you're the Michael Jordan of real estate and you sell more homes than anybody else does, could you retire today and live your best life, live your dream life once the money stops coming in? And for most people, the answer is no. Now, I'm going to take another real estate agent, also going to be in the business for 20 years, also earning about $200,000 a year. But this agent has the opportunity because they're part of a company that's on a platform that shares the revenue with the real estate agents. And they're not going to spend the majority of their time on agent attraction. They're just going to spend a small percentage of their time on agent attraction. They're still closing deals. They're still making money. They're still making roughly $200,000 a year. However, let's say for the next 20 years, they brought over two agents per year over the next 20 years. They would have 40 agents that would be a part of their rev share organization at level one. 40 agents, and that's with just two agents per year. Now, here's the mindset behind this. How much time does that take? Not a lot, not hardly any at all. Are you actively going out and recruiting? No, you're not. You're attracting real estate agents based on the theory that talent attracts talent, and otherwise, people who are talented in their profession attract other people who want to get in business with them. All right. Now, let's just say over that same 20-year period, put 20 years here so we have that as a constant. These 40 agents brought over two agents each as well, and we have 80 agents at level two. And let's just say that we have a total. Give me 1 second, I'm going to look this up because I did the math earlier, so I wouldn't have to do it here. Let's just say we have 120 and 40 agents come in at level three because there's a little bit of illusion there. So you got a total of 120 agents by having two agents per year choose to get in business with you. Now the return on this, it's 140, excuse me. So 80, 120. Yeah, so there's 20. Sorry, 20 agents here. So 140 times $600, that's the average return. It's going to have a return of $84,000 a year. If we take that and we divide it by 12, that's an income of $7,000 a month. So this agent created a passive income stream of $7,000 per month in addition to their production. It's not going to replace your real estate income, but if something were to happen to you and you couldn't work for the next 6 months and you had $7,000 a month coming in, is that better or worse than the agent who has nothing coming in? If a day comes and you want to get out of production, you can walk away from the real estate business with a box full of trophies and plaques, which is pretty much what we all do. Or you could walk away from the real estate business with an additional $7,000 a month in income simply by attracting two agents per month over the next 20 years. Is it a distraction? Here's the other thing I think is a myth. When you look at companies like EXP that have a platform based on the company sharing 50% of every dollar that comes in back to the real estate agents as owners in the business through rev share, the myth is that real estate agents are spending all their time recruiting agents and they're not selling any homes. Here's a fact. First of all, EXP is the largest independent brokerage in the United States. Number two, EXP is the number one independent brokerage in the United States for the number of homes they're selling. They're outselling companies like Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Berkshire Hathaway, Remax. So the idea that they're not selling homes because all they do is recruit is 100% a myth. Here's the other fact. Out of 90,000 agents at EXP, roughly 15% even participate in revenue share. For most of the agents, 85% of the agents, they ignore that opportunity. It's not a distraction. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to be an owner in a business that creates a path to potential financial freedom, to potential legacy wealth. Change the way you look at things you look at change. All right, guys, I'm John Dietz, speaker, trainer, coach for John Dietz Coaching, business builder for eXp Realty. If you have any questions for me, if you would like more information about partnering with me, I own Dietz and Dietz Real Estate Consultants, powered by eXp Realty. If you'd like to talk to me about an opportunity to get in business, contact information is below. All right, as always, make it a great day.